Your girl Jasmine back with another video on the channel. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. No, I was playing. That probably was trash. I'm gonna leave that in too. But let's go, man. We got NBA legends who came from literally nothing. Nothing. And there's a lot of NBA players that came from nothing, for real. There's a lot of people who came from nothing at all and still been successful in life. But let me not go on that route. We on the NBA route, so let's get into it. Hope you guys will enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, push the notification bell so you know when I post. Let's go. AI, you up first, baby. Let's go.
His mother was a mere 15-year-old teenager when she gave birth to him. His father was a huge influence on his life, introducing him to basketball as a child. But unfortunately, he wasn't a consistent presence in his life. He'd move in and out of jail and started distributing illegal drugs. In an article of his early childhood, here's how they described it. When his mother couldn't afford to pay the bills, the family would go without water, lights, and heat. A ruptured sewer line under the house filled it with a noxious smell and would sometimes seep onto the floor.
Dang.
Iverson spent his childhood dreaming of making things better for his family.
But and you know, that's sad. That's like, because, you know, a kid never asked to be in that position. A kid never asked to be here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then as a kid, you're growing up like, dang, I gotta hurry up and make it. I gotta hurry up and do something to help turn these lights on. I gotta hurry up and do something to help make this water run. I gotta do something to help make my mama smile. Like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes as a kid, you shouldn't even think that far. You should just be able to, you know, go outside, get some fresh air, play with your friends, come inside, chill. I'm not saying a kid's supposed to have everything, but a kid's supposed to be a kid, not have to worry about bills and stuff. So that's pretty, you know, that's sad.
But everything around him pulled him back into the ghetto. During his youth, 8 of his friends were murdered, including his best friend.
Dang, not 8.
On top of all this tragedy, Iverson had a hard time focusing on school. Seeing his friends die like that, he didn't know what living a normal life was like. He too got sucked into it. Confrontations with his teachers, fights on the streets, theft and robbery, it was all too common. Slowly, his interest in basketball waned, as he preferred to play football in high school.
Can y'all believe he played football? I bet he was fast as hell, though. Even though he probably needs some more weight, I bet he was fast as hell.
That's what his friends were playing.
Right,
but his mother had to continue encouraging him to play basketball, so he gave it another shot. She believed due to his short, slim stature, he won't have much of a chance in the NFL. Heck, even for basketball, it would be quite hard. That's when Iverson coined this process, the plan. At this point, Iverson's sole desire was to get his family out of the slums, and basketball was the ticket to freedom. He had an immense amount of natural talent, a feel for the game that most people his height and size do not have. Iverson's impact gave other smaller, slimmer guys hope. He was competing with the best of them, despite his stature.
Not crossed you once.
He inspired a ton of future NBA superstars. Guys like Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, and Damian Lillard. They've all stated at one point Iverson was the guy they looked up to growing up. For a guy who physically was not a freak, didn't have ridiculous tools or measurements as others, it's shocking how much he accomplished despite having all the cards stacked against him.
I low-key wish AI would have got a ring. But you know, unfortunately, it didn't happen for him. But AI was definitely an amazing player to play the game. Everybody want to be like AI.
Dwyane Wade.
Dwyane Wade! If y'all don't know, man, this is my guy. This is my favorite player ever. This is my favorite player. If anybody asks me who's my favorite player, you should know it's Dwyane Wade. So.
Raised in the south side of Chicago, Wade's childhood was very volatile. Him and his family never had a permanent home growing up, partly because his parents divorced when he was 4 months old. The young D. Wade bounced around from place to place, moving around various parts of the city.
Ooh.
But because Wade's mother was given custody of him, he had to stay with her. This was not ideal, as his mother did not have her life together. She was constantly using heroin, involved in a number of drug and gang activities, and their home was the subject of a massive police raid. She eventually ended up in prison. Fortunately, Wade's sister moved him to his father's house at the age of 8. At this point, Wade's father remarried and was doing a whole lot better than his mother. This changed the entire course of his life. And now with his father, Wade grew up in a much better neighborhood. He got to meet his new stepbrothers, along with new friends and new family members, who were in the right state of mind and truly cared about him.
Not right state of mind.
It was here where Wade's love for basketball started, and today he credits his father for leading him down the right path. In his book, A Father First, How My Life Became Bigger Than Basketball, he stated, "My father stepped up. I'm successful today because my father stepped up."
See what I'm saying? It's like, I hate to go this route, but as parents, kids really be needing you. Kids really be needing you. And it's like, I know times is hard. I know things be hard, but never give up on your kids, man, because they need you, for real.
And he uses it as motivation to become the best father that he himself could become.
That's dope.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh my gosh, have y'all seen his movie Rise? I don't want to say him, but it's because it's about all the brothers, and their story is so freaking sad, so sad, and it's like, that movie's very good. Y'all should watch it. It's on Disney Plus. It's called like Rise Up or something. It's actually very good. It was better than I thought it was gonna be.
It's been a long time coming for Giannis. Despite being born in Greece as the son of Nigerian refugees,
why they all
him
still
and
look
his
like
brothers
that?
did not qualify for
They
Greek
all literally
citizenship.
still look like that today.
So for the first 18 years of his life, he had no official documentation. Not from Nigeria and not from Greece. People in Athens would look at him and his family in curiosity.
That's crazy.
Sadly, his parents struggled to find work, so him and his brothers helped out the finances by walking around the streets, selling sunglasses, watches, handbags, and other items too.
That's crazy.
However, even though these were difficult times, Giannis still had his family fully supporting him. That's better than what most kids hope for.
Look at babyface Giannis.
They worked together to make this life in Greece as great as possible.
And then coming from Greece and Nigeria over to the United States, I bet that was a total culture shock. Like, I bet he was just like, what? I remember I seen a video of him trying an Oreo for the first time and a shake and trying like Chick-fil-A for the first time. He was like, I love America. Like, it was just one of those like moments like, dang, y'all got all this over here? That's crazy. And it's just sad because sometimes we get so caught up in, you know, what we don't have, and then you get individuals who's been in one place their whole life and never seen this type of culture, never seen, like, you know, never tasted type of foods and stuff like that. So it's like, you gotta be grateful for what you do have, man.
Despite the barriers preventing them from doing so.
There's always somebody who has it worse. Always.
By 2007, he caught a stroke of luck. A local Greek basketball squad discovered him and figured, hey, you seem pretty tall and athletic. I think you'll be good at basketball. That's basically what they said. At this point, Giannis was 13 years old, a late bloomer who never had any interest in basketball previously. He barely even played it before. But almost immediately, you could see the potential was there. It wasn't easy. There were doubts that he had the right feel and instincts to play, despite his massive growth spurt in high school. Even after he got drafted to the NBA, everyone knew taking him was a huge gamble.
Native has fantastical sense.
And if you didn't know why it was a gamble, it's a gamble because he wasn't legal. Him and his family wasn't legal anywhere. And they wanted, Giannis said, if you pick me, you have to make not only me, but my whole family legal and move us, you know what I'm saying, to wherever team I'm drafted to. So, which could be a gamble with some teams, you know. It's a big risk because, like you said, he was just starting to hit his points. He was 18. He's still 18 he's like 18 being drafted, I think. And he just started playing basketball at 13. You know, he still was hitting his growth spurts and stuff like that. So it was like, it was still a big risk. And y'all remember when Giannis was, when he first got to the league, he was very, very lanky and skinny. Now he's like a beast.
To be successful, but he was a twig, arguably the lankiest guy in the league, especially at his height. It took years of intense training and a strict regime to help him bulk up to the monster we know today. And now he's become the face of the NBA. Not only was this an incredible rise to stardom, but a great success story of a family who had nowhere to go. Getting drafted to the NBA not only made his dreams come true, but it probably saved his life and his family's life. Unfortunately, his father, Charles Antetokounmpo, wasn't around to see him win the championship, but I'm sure he would have been super proud of
So
him
proud,
and
bro.
all his brothers.
R.I.P. man.
Larry Bird.
Larry. Hey. Hold on. Let me just push play.
I don't think there's anything worse than seeing your own father take his own life.
Dang.
Except for maybe watching your own children do it.
What?
When Bird was in high school, his father, a Korean War veteran, committed suicide.
No.
This introduced a tremendous amount of turmoil within Bird's own life, and his mental fortitude could not handle it. Additionally, his mother was raising 6 children by herself. Their family lived in poverty. Growing up poor has been the driving factor for his motivation for greatness. In a Sports Illustrated article from 1988, Bird recalled his days growing up. I remember she worked 100 hours a week and made $100, and then went to the store and had to buy $120 worth of food.
Bro, 100 hours a week and made $100, and then went to the store and had to buy food for 6-7 people? Man, that's crazy. That's sad. And it's sad that the kids really notice way more than what you think they do. Kids notice everything. And the fact a young kid noticed that's sad. That's so sad, man. It's so sad. But I know it makes a parent proud. Like you see, like my son is Larry Bird. He's like one of the best players in the NBA. So I know when she was watching her son, I bet she was like, that Larry boy, like that Larry really is something else. Like, I bet she was like, wow, like my son is something else, So that's crazy. That's wow.
If
Never
there was
know
a
how your
payment,
life can turn
if there
around.
was a payment to the bank
Never
due
know.
and we needed shoes, she'd get the shoes and then deal with them guys at the bank.
Children.
The children always came first.
Woo!
When it got cold outside, there were so many nights where their old furnace broke down, filling the house with black smoke. The Bird family had to sleep outside, shivering in the freezing cold.
Dang.
Larry made it clear he never wanted to feel this way again. After his father's death, he used basketball as an escape. He needed to get his mind off of all the family troubles. His successful high school career led to multiple scholarship offers. Eventually, he found his way to Indiana State, quickly becoming the most prominent player in college basketball. It would carry over to the NBA too. Despite all this success, Bird still lives a humble life and goes back to his roots.
Hard work. Nothing handed to him.
Even
You
during
feel
his
me?
playing
Hard
career,
work.
every winter he'd shovel snow for his mother
That's
and
dope.
even helped her build a new driveway.
That's dope, man. See, stuff like that makes me happy, man, for real. Because it's like you don't forget where you come from. You don't forget the people who helped you. You know what I'm
Severely
saying?
hampered his physical condition later in his career. The back injuries he suffered by his late 20s can be attributed to him overworking. LeBron James.
LeBron.
I don't think there's a single success story that's had more impact than LeBron's. As a child, he was raised by his mother and never knew who his father was. Him and his mom had to relocate to so many different homes, so many
Hey.
different apartments.
I bet you his daddy been done reached out once he found out Brian how famous Brian is. I bet his daddy reached out quick. That's rude of me to say, but
Days
probably
in
true.
school in 4th grade. It was during those troubled years where LeBron had no hopes and no dreams of the future, just trying to survive until tomorrow. But it was later that year in 4th grade that ultimately made him realize he had to turn his life around. An article described his situation like this. His mom, 25-year-old Gloria, had recently quit a job at Payless Shoes, according to a friend. She was living on welfare. She liked to go out, friend said, and sometimes left LeBron to supervise himself. Often, he chose not to go to school, spending his days immersed in video games, shuttling between the apartment and a corner store where his mother's food stamps paid for his snacks. By then, James had already spent 2/3 of his life essentially without a home, moving every few months with Gloria from one apartment to the next. Sports, especially basketball and football, were LeBron's safe spaces. When his football coach
Well,
offered
his
him a
kids
place
look
to
just
stay,
like him.
LeBron took it. He mentioned, "I'll never forget what the Walkers did for me, especially Frank. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves because he's real quiet. But he was the first one to give me a basketball, and the first one to show a real interest."
That's
This
dope.
was the beginning of his basketball journey. He took off after that. From being a high school sensation to having his games broadcasted on ESPN, an unprecedented moment, to eventually becoming the first pick of the '03 draft. The rest is history. Anyway, that's all, folks. Those were 5 NBA legends who came from absolutely nothing. Some of the toughest but worst stories we've ever seen, but
Dang, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. I was intrigued. The only person I knew about was Dwyane Wade because my favorite player. I knew bits and pieces about Bron. Oh, I knew about Giannis just because I watched that movie. Like I said, I advise y'all check it out. It's really dope. So I hope you guys enjoyed this movie. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know any other videos like see me do. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and push that notification bell. With that being said, see you guys next video.